with a time, a certain moment in our lives. And sometimes you hear an album and you remember where you heard that album. And that's my little tale, very impromptu. And I'm going to take you back 31 years and take you back to, and in honour of being here in Amsterdam, I should call it Van Diemen's Land, shouldn't I? I shouldn't call it Australia, or even Gondwanaland. We'll call it Van Diemen's Land. And that country, if you haven't been to it, there are parts of it that were ancient before even our gods were born. The place is that old. And back in those days, I still had no money. I used to be a greyhound driver. We used to go from one side of Australia to the other. I lived in Perth and we staged. And at this moment in time, my stage was from the gold mining town of Kalgoorlie. It's about 600 kilometres from Perth, just up the road. And my run was 1,100 kilometres from Kalgoorlie to the border of West Australia and South Australia. And to give you an idea of size, 1,600 kilometres from the city of Perth to the border, and the next city is Adelaide, which is another 1,500 kilometres. So it's a fair whack. It's a fair whack of space. Anyhow, at that stage I was doing night shift, and the coach would come in from Perth about 11:30 at night, and I'd pick it up and I'd run it then from Kalgoorlie down through to Norseman, another gold town, and then we'd head out into what we call the Never Never, out in the real outback, beyond the Black Stump. And you'd come out at Norseman about 4:10 in the morning, all dark, and then you'd start climbing up through what we call the Fraser Ranges. And the ranges are the last sort of granite outcrop before she drops away and then becomes what we call the Nullarbor. The Nullarbor, you walk into your Latin, so of course you know no trees. It's a bit of a lie, like a lot of things from Aussie, but there are trees here and there. But basically it's about 800 kilometres of limestone and very scrubby wattle and not much else. So limestone, it was once an ancient seabed. So my run was from Kalgoorlie to Euclid, which is basically right on the border of South Aussie and West Australia. And a new album had come out by one of my all-time favourite artists, a guy called Larrikin, a little Jewish guy from Montreal. He brought this new album out and I saw it as I went in the office and in the shop, and I thought, my God, I've got to have it. So I bought the cassette, knew I had to go back home and get some more sleep before I got up to do night shift. And I thought, I'm going to listen to that as soon as I can. And on this shift, you know, you're moving people from Kalgoorlie to Norseman, and these are only small towns. We're not villages or anything. And then when you left Norseman about 4:10 in the morning, you know, you'd head out to the Fraser Ranges. You'd hope to God the 44 people behind you were going to go to sleep. The two guys in the toilet that had the joint, you'd hope they'd put that out and just go to sleep, everybody. And then you had peace and quiet, and you'd come down the Fraser Ranges into long, long straight, and then there's a little place called Balladonia, and these are only roadhouses, fueling stations, if you like. And then from Balladonia, it's another 165 kilometres to the next place, which is another roadhouse. But of that 165 kilometres, 160 of them are completely straight. The road is completely straight. There's no bends, there's nothing. It just goes straight ahead and the scrub dies away. There's nothing. There's a little bit of acacia bush. So as you come down from Balladonia towards Balladonia, I'd grab the Walkman. And some of you are old enough to remember Walkman. So just put it there, and we had the Greyhound Silver Eagles. Joe Way will know about those, American coaches. They were wound right out, and we could sit on 160 kilometres an hour and just cut through the night. So you'd wind the coach up, have a look, make sure everybody was asleep, get the Walkman out, plug the earphones in and put it on. And I put it on. Still remember it. Various positions. Absolutely out of this world. Out of this world. I could not believe it. I'm sitting in a modern miracle, $500,000 coach, just in the middle of nowhere, and this album came on in my ears. Still marvellous. Thank you.